Okay, Common Core Geometry kids. So in this video, we're going to be talking about relationships between chords in circles, all right, and their arcs. So there's going to be a lot of information, a lot of formulas, as usual with this unit, okay? So the first fact, so these are all going to be facts. Fact 1. A diameter perpendicular to a chord bisects the chord and its arcs. Okay, so what am I talking about? Okay, so here you have some circle, okay? And I have some chord AB. And I have a diameter which is perpendicular to that chord. So that means that, and let me call this C, and I'll call this D. So by this diameter being perpendicular to that chord, we have segment AC is congruent to segment BC. So eventually when we do proofs, we'll be saying things such as a conclusion would be AC is congruent to BC because a diameter perpendicular to a chord bisects the chord. See? That's how that's going to happen. Then these arcs are congruent. So this arc is congruent to this arc. So it bisects the chords and its arcs. All right, those arcs are congruent. Also, these arcs are going to be congruent. Say we call this E. So you get a lot of information, guys. And don't forget, this is the diameter here. I mean the radius. Did I just say diameter? Silly me. So remember, that's R. That's the radius. Okay, so that's fact 1. Okay, next fact. And then a lot of times these facts are going to be used simultaneously in problems. Congruent chords are equidistant from the center. Okay, so if you're given anything about two chords and their distance from the center, okay, so here's the center. Okay, so you'd be shown distance like this. Let's say this is 8. Let's say this is 8. So that means that those chords, AB and CD, would be congruent. So they just have to be equidistant from the center. Okay, and then if they are congruent, they must be equidistant from the center. So you can remember that as well. All right, so it's just how far it is from the center. Okay, these chords can be drawn at an angle. They don't have to look straight like I made them look. All right, so let's say here's the center. I could have a chord over here, and then I could have another chord over here. All right, however far this is. Distance is always traveling perpendicular, by the way. So let's say this is 9. Okay, let's say this is 9. Well, that means that, again, AB is congruent to CD. AB is congruent to CD. Okay? And by the way, congruent chords have congruent arcs. So in addition to these being congruent, you're able to say that these arcs are congruent as well. So there's a lot of resulting information from this. Okay, let's take a look at fact. So that's what I just said. Congruent chords have congruent arcs and vice versa. Okay, so if I have a chord here, I have some other chord over here. All right. So these chords are congruent. I tell you they're congruent, so then you can conclude, oh, well then these arcs are congruent. And vice versa. And we can also conclude that they must be equidistant from the center, right? So all those conclusions are at play. Okay, fact 4. Parallel lines intersecting a circle intercept congruent arcs. Okay, so if you have two parallel lines, okay, A, B, so I have A, B, C, D. You know what, I want to make one much shorter than the other, so I don't mislead you in what you're looking at. It's very easy to mislead people in geometry. That's obviously shorter. I don't want you to think they're the same length. They could be, but they don't have to be. Okay, so these arcs between these parallel lines are congruent. So AD is congruent to CB. And the last thing you need to know, okay, so this is fact 5, I believe, right? Fact 5. When you have intersecting chords, all right, let me show you. It's going to be easier to understand. So if I have two intersecting chords, oh no, that does not look good. Okay, so I have two chords, they're intersecting. They don't have to pass through the center. They could, but they don't have to. Okay, so let's say we call this A, B, C, and D, E. You just need to know that the product of AB times BC equals DB times BE. And it actually could be proved from similar triangles, but I'm not going to be proving all these things right now. I'm just going to be doing facts with you, and then we'll worry about proofs later on. Okay, so you're going to need all this information for our work in class tomorrow. All right, so you'll certainly get a much better understanding of it when we do problems on it. All right, but these are the facts that you need. Okay, guys, thanks.